GoPro Hero 11 versus Insta360 X3. Which is better for action sports like skateboarding or snowboarding? We're gonna compare them side by side. Here's a summary. The Hero 11 is much tougher. It has far better image quality and is much simpler to use. It also costs $50 less than the Insta360 X3. With so many advantages for the GoPro, why even consider the X3? Well, simply said, because it's like shooting with an invisible flying camera. This is the Summerboard. It's like an electric snowboard for the street. It's super fun, but just like a snowboard, you can catch an edge. And as it turns out, that's going to be a factor in our comparison, as you'll see. Alright, here's a shot with the GoPro. With 5.3K 60 FPS and up to 10-bit video, it looks amazing. Now, here's the exact same scene shot with the Insta360 X3. And no, I didn't have anyone helping me to shoot this video. I shot this by myself. And no, I did not use a drone. I just used the Insta360 X3 beside the GoPro Hero on a selfie stick. You can even see the shadow of the two cameras here side by side. Although this is the same scene from the same vantage point of the selfie stick, the two videos look totally different. In fact, the Insta360 X3 looks completely different from any other camera you've seen before. You can see the entire subject, whereas on the GoPro you can only see my legs. But more importantly, the selfie stick is invisible. The X3 looks like an invisible flying camera. Now if you found this video helpful, guess what? YouTube invented a button called the like button. And it's free! Go ahead and click it! And if you like shooting fast and fun sports, hit subscribe. So how does the X3 get this insane third-person view?
The Insta360 X3 is a 360 camera that sees everything around it, except the space in between its lenses. So it's kind of like a blind spot. Now imagine if you had the selfie stick that's thin enough to fit between the lenses. The selfie stick becomes invisible. You can also use it for other accessories such as this wireless microphone.
It's a really cool effect, which is why many athletes are switching to 360 cameras like the X3. Can you get the best of both worlds? We're gonna talk about that later in this video, but first let's answer a more urgent question. Is the X3 hard to use? Regular 360 cameras require keyframing to choose the view that the audience sees. It's like being the director of a movie, and it gives you a lot of room for creativity, but does take additional time. Insta360 X3 can do that too, but it gives you 3 shortcuts for editing. First, you can use Deep Track to track the subject and let the app keyframe it for you. Second, it has auto framing. The app can analyze the video and the AI can identify subjects automatically and create a separate video for each subject. The X3 has a third shortcut called Me Mode. Me Mode enables you to shoot an invisible flying camera view with no keyframing needed and no tracking needed. After shooting, I just export the Me Mode videos and that's all I have to do. Okay, so X3 isn't hard to use, but besides the additional step of editing, are there disadvantages? Yes, the X3 is less detailed than the GoPro Hero and it's also much more fragile. So, look at this, there's like a little scratch there. No problem. Now for the X3, it's a little nick on the lens. You see that? Now that little nick in the lens might not seem like a big deal, but when you're shooting with a super short focal length like the one in the 360 camera, it's definitely going to show up in the video. Now if this is a big concern for you, the good news is that I've found a new way to protect the Insta360 X3 that still gives you an invisible camera effect. If you want to see that, check out this video. But other than the third-person view, does the X3 have other advantages? Yes, several. Here are some of them. The best stabilization you've ever seen. Check out this video. Now, do you love attaching your GoPro to your skateboard? Check this out. Here's what it looks like when you attach the X3 to your skateboard. You can show 2 or more different points of view at the same time, like a multicam setup. Put the X3 on the tripod and let it follow you automatically. You can shoot first and point later, so you can focus on having fun instead of trying to get the shot. You can get drone-like shots. Just use the X3 with the extended selfie stick. For other excellent samples of this technique, check out Brandon Lee's video. I'll put a link in the description. You can get tiny planet photos and videos. You can get creative shots. Luke Edwin has many examples of what you can do with the X3. So, should you get the Insta360 X3 or a GoPro Hero? If you are the type of person who absolutely loves detail, you'll be happier with the GoPro Hero. On the other hand, if you are more interested in creative camera angles and cinematic movements that look like they were shot with a camera crew, then go for the Insta360 X3. Now, some of you may want both. Now, if that's you, I've got 3 options. Option 1, get the Insta360 1-inch 360 edition. This is a 360 camera with 1-inch sensors, which are 4 times larger than the sensors on the X3, so it has great image quality and a 360 view. Option 2, get the Insta360 One RS Twin Edition. This is a 360 camera that can convert to an action cam like the GoPro Hero. And the best part is that it costs much less than buying both a 360 camera and an action cam. Now, option 3 is for hardcore users who want absolutely no compromise. That sounds like you. Check this out. You can get both an Insta360 camera and an action cam. Now, the key is to mount them like this with the Insta360 below the action cam. That way, the Insta360 will still show an invisible selfie stick view. So here's one sample, or if you have the Insta360 One RS 1-inch 360 edition, you can do this.
The beauty of this setup is that if I want to switch to 360, I can do that anytime. I just rotate this and voila, we have the 360 view.
This setup looks really expensive, but if you are really a hardcore user, then chances are you probably already have one or more of these cameras, so all you have to do is get the right rig for it. Check out the links in the description. Now, FYI, GoPro also has their own 360 camera called the Max. I compared it to the Insta360 X3, and you can check out my side-by-side comparison here. See you in 360.